Your first video is not going to get views. Period. It's not. Your first 10 are not going to get views. I can very confidently say that. So stop sitting there and thinking for months and months on end and just get to work and start uploading. There's literally no such thing as a perfect video.
A lot of people give up too soon because they're not getting enough views. You literally could be a year away from that video that you just made taking off because you just stopped uploading.
Give yourself 10 years. Give yourself 10 years at this craft, making videos, posting them online, getting made fun of for at least 5 of those years.
Easy
and then
5.
maybe at the end of 10, maybe you'll have a little bit of success.
You had no money. What would be the first 10 videos you tried to make on a new channel? I guess that's advice for a new person. And nobody knows you.
Yeah, nobody knows me. Yeah, like hypothetically, I have a mask on.
And you also, I guess, don't have the wisdom.
But if I don't have what I have in my head, then I would say just fail. Like, just a lot of people get analysis paralysis and they'll just sit there and they'll plan their first video for 3 months. And
Yeah.
I'm any of you listening, if you, especially if you have 0 videos on your channel, your first video is not going to get views. Period. It's not. Your first 10 are not going to get views. I can very confidently say that. So stop sitting there and thinking for months and months on end and just get to work and start uploading. Like, all you need to do, this applies to people who have not uploaded videos but have dreams of being a YouTuber, is make 100 videos and improve something every time. Do that. And then on your 101st video, we'll start talking, like maybe you can get some views, but you know, your first 100 are gonna stop. There are very freak cases like Liza Koshy or Emma Chamberlain who have really good personalities and it doesn't take them as many videos. And it's just like people who are 7'5" and making the NBA. Like, yes, there are freak cases you can find, but for the average person like us, you know, who don't have these exceptional personalities and, you know, backgrounds in filmmaking, just make 100 videos, improve something each time, and then talk to me on your 101st video.
Well, the improve something each time is the tricky one. How do you improve something each time?
The second one, just, I don't know, put more effort into the script. The third one, try to learn a new editing trick. The fourth one, try to figure out a way that you can have better inflections in your voice. The fifth one, try to, you know, study a new thumbnail tip and implement it. The sixth one, try to figure out a new title. There's infinite ways. That's the beauty of content creation online. There's literally infinite ways, from the coloring to the frame rate, to the editing, to the filming, to the production, to the jokes, to the pacing, to every little thing can be improved, and they can never not be improved. There's literally no such thing as a perfect video.
Item number 1 is that no one cares about your videos. This is 2 categories of people who do not care. Number 1, your friends and family do not care. And number 2, the audience also does not care. Firstly, on the friends and family front, I was so worried when I started YouTube 6 years ago that people were gonna say bad things about it. I was afraid people were gonna judge me. And then I started making videos and I realized no one cares. No one cares. People are busy with their own lives. People are doing their own stuff. They do not give a flying toss whether or not I have a YouTube channel or whether or not I make videos. They're never watching my videos. My videos are not aimed at them. And so me making videos is not for the sake of my friends and family. And so many people get held back by the worry of what their friends, their family, their coworkers, their boss, their aunt, their uncle, their dog is going to think about their YouTube channel. No one cares. Everyone is doing their own thing. You can absolutely do YouTube, and I guarantee your friends and family will not care. Secondly, the other category of people that doesn't care is the audience. When I first started making YouTube videos 6 years ago, I thought people would care. I started making videos about me and my friends singing songs, a cover of Payphone by Maroon 5, a cover of Adele or whatever. And the way I now think about this, and what I kind of wish I'd known before, is that videos on YouTube are not actually free. People are paying for watching your videos. They're just not paying with their cash, they are paying with their time and attention, and those are 2 currencies that are even more valuable than money. And so when you're new to YouTube and you make a video and it doesn't get any views and you think, oh, the algorithm doesn't like me, it's not that the algorithm doesn't like you, it's that your video is not worth watching. People have not decided to click on that video, people have not decided to watch it because it has not provided them with any value. And these days, increasingly, people have so many choices of how they can spend their time on the internet. The thing they want to do is they want value. Whether that's value in the form of entertainment or education or inspiration, it needs to have some kind of value. And if there is no value in the video, then people will not watch the video. And if people are not watching the video, the algorithm will recognize that no one's watching it and is therefore not going to recommend it. And this is enormously liberating and enormously freeing when you're getting started, because it means you don't need to overthink it. No one's going to watch the first several videos anyway. You have to start off by being bad. And over time, by being bad repeatedly, you will eventually be good at making videos. Your videos will start to add value. You'll start to figure out what your niche is. And then when people give up their time and attention to watch your videos, it will actually be worth it for them. And now the algorithm is going to start recommending you, and then your channel will grow. And then at some point you'll become a millionaire, and then life will be all great.
When people come up to you and they say, Casey, I'm thinking about being a YouTuber, what advice could you give me, a young up-and-coming creator, if I wanted to do what you've done for so many years? Casey, what advice do you give me?
I hate it. My response is always why. No, like let's put
it's a great response.
If you ask me that question, then like let me, like that's a big question. You're asking me to do work right now.
Yeah.
Why? And if their answer is anything other than like, there's nothing I love more than making videos, or like, I grew up here and nobody knows about X, like there's some genuine passion, whether it's artistic or sharing a perspective, anything other than that. If it's like, if the word Mr. Beast is anywhere in their answer, my response is don't.
Or Prime or any of that.
Yeah. Because that can't be the mission.
I got asked this the other day in the airport. I get asked this question sometimes, and it is difficult because like I too want to stress how difficult it can be if you don't love it. This kid came up to me, what advice can you give me? I said, he's like, I want to make videos. I'm an up and coming guy. I said, okay, how many videos have you made? He goes, well, none yet. I'm thinking about starting. I said, all right, kid, you're 19, 20, give yourself 10 years. Give yourself 10 years at this craft, making videos, posting them online, getting made fun of for at least 5 of those years.
Easy
and then
5.
Maybe at the end of 10, maybe you'll have a little bit of success. Consistency for me is my general advice for these people, but you are right. It needs to come from a place of like, kind of, this is what I love. It's just how I'm wired.
Patience is the other thing I say, because it's a little bit of a answer. Nobody wants to hear that.
No.
Like, what's
It's
the one piece?
horrible.
Casey, what's the one piece
Horrible.
of advice? I don't have time. I don't want to stop my skateboard. I just want to roll past you and give an answer. It's always like patience.
Yeah.
Do you have 10 years to commit to this? And they look at you like you have 3 heads. You're like, yo, I thought Mr. Beast said, and it's like, nah.
Everyone has different audiences. So what works for Mr. Beast might not work for me, right? So what I did is like, I did my own little experiment. Like when I knew I wanted to get into shorts, I told myself I was going to upload every day for as long as possible. And I think I only got like a week or 2 in. I didn't get that far, but the goal was essentially to upload as much as possible. Quantity is what makes quality. When I was doing that quantity, I would analyze my retention graph. And this is just like one example I'll just pull out for you. So there was one video after 5 days, I think it was like 50,000 views in 5 days, right? Which on average, I usually get like 1 million. So I was not happy with the performance. And I pulled up the retention graph and I noticed on the last second, it was a huge dip. It was 70%. 1 second later, it was 45%. Like a 25% drop in 1 second. And the retention was 83%. So what I did was I went to YouTube Studio. I trimmed off that 1 second. YouTube removed this feature, by the way. YouTube, please bring it back. But just by removing that 1 second at the end, it went from 83% to 88%. And the video went flying. And that's why like every second counts on a short, like every single second. Because when you think about it, let's say you have a 30-second short, right? If you lose 1 second, that's already 97%. That's 3 percentages. If you lose 2 seconds, that's 6%. So when you think about it on shorts, like you're not just losing 1 second, you're losing double or even triple, because that 1 second accumulates to 2 or 3% of the video.
When I first met you, I had just gone full-time as a creator, and you were so great. You gave me this worldview, this perspective of don't think algorithm, think audience.
In my role, I've always gotten a lot of questions about the algorithm. It's like, what time should I upload to optimize for the algorithm? What time, how often should I upload? And the way we design the algorithm is actually such that we want to give audiences the videos and other content that they're going to be most satisfied by. And so if the audience doesn't really care whether you upload it at 3 in the morning or 7 at night, then the algorithm shouldn't care either. And so what I encourage creators to do is when they have some of these questions, they immediately kind of think about algorithm, like replace the word algorithm in their question with the word audience. That's going to give you a better answer because we're aiming to serve the audience. And so the more you focus on understanding what your audience wants and finding the best fit with them, the algorithm is going to match that.
Yeah, one of the biggest things for me was when I stopped thinking, why didn't the algorithm like this video? I started thinking, why didn't my audience like it?
As a creator, I think the more that you can put yourselves in the shoes of viewers and go through YouTube and browse around and see what's going to make you as a viewer be interested in a particular video versus another video. It might give you more perspective. You may not get just thinking so much about your own videos all the time. Look at it from the viewer perspective.
For new creators or smaller creators, because when you say the algorithm follows the audience, they worry that they don't have an audience yet for the algorithm to follow. So do we do anything for those creators?
Yeah, so we have a team that is specifically focused on this challenge of trying to identify audiences for creators that are just getting started, for videos that we don't have a lot of information about. And so, yeah, with those videos and channels, we do need to try some different approaches. The title, the description. When there are viewers that show up that seems like they might be interested in it, we'll show that video to those viewers and see which of them react. We really want to make sure that there is a path for new creators to get started. It's a metric we track, how many new creators are succeeding on the platform. We're very focused on that. We care a lot about it because we do believe that there's a lot of opportunity there with new creators coming along with new ideas all the time, and we want to help those creators be successful.
Sean, if you were starting a YouTube channel in 2024, what would you do? Especially considering that you've been in the YouTube game for 17 years now. You've started multiple channels, 3 silver play buttons. How would you get started in this new year?
Yeah, so I wrote down 5 things when I thought about this question. And the first one is courage. You have to start messy. And I think about this, I have some tactics as we get into it, but now that I've had the chance to coach so many different people that have started YouTube channels and grow their YouTube channels, I've realized that really the first thing that holds us back is ourself and our fears and our mindsets. We feel like we're not ready. We feel like, man, is anybody going to care? We feel like, am I going to be judged? Is there going to be negative comments? And these are all legitimate mindsets, but you're not going to get results if you don't start. You're never going to know if you don't start. Everything that you want in life is outside of your comfort zone. So I do want to lay a foundation that you got to start before you're ready. You got to start messy. You probably have a million questions. Even if you've already been subscribed to the Think Media podcast or other channel for a while, you still probably are like, but what about this? But what about that? You have to just start. And my second tip is clarity, and we can hit that one in a second. But the reason that I say start messy is there's really 2 kinds of people. Maybe you're already a professional, a business owner. So you're already know you're in real estate, you already are in carpentry, and so like you're going to start a DIY channel helping people fix stuff around the home. You know that you're going to start a real estate channel to get leads, clients, and sales in your local community. You know you're a musician that uses Ableton, so you want to start doing music tutorials. Like, you already have clarity. So if you have that, we can dial that in when we get there in a second. But there's this whole other category where someone's listening to this, they know they want to start, but they're unsure. They have a million questions about what niche, what topic, what about this, what about that. And I would encourage you to just start posting videos. Just try something. Don't overthink it, because we do learn by doing. And I know for me, because I didn't have fierce clarity when I started, I just started posting random videos on my Sean Cannell channel. There's a million lessons of mistakes I made, but the benefit of that was I started to learn how to film. I learned how to edit. I experimented with this topic, that topic. And even though the brand ended up being kind of not great and the niche wasn't really clear and I was all over the place, and that wasn't my successful YouTube channel, I haven't even uploaded there in years. It was a personal development experience, a skill development experience. And I like to say I have 4 YouTube channels that helped me eventually start a successful one. So absolutely, in 2024, start as soon as possible. Don't put it off. Don't just watch YouTube videos. Don't just consume information. We learn by doing. Take action, press record. It takes courage. You got to get uncomfortable. So just start.
I kind of want to bring it back to the person who's starting out, right? What pitfalls are they going to run into? What can they avoid? What kind of mistakes are people making that either make them quit YouTube and they just give up on it, or maybe they're making some mistakes so they're not getting views anymore?
Yep.
What would be one of those that you think a lot of people make?
It's funny because those kind of feed into each other. I find that a lot of people give up too soon because they're not getting enough views. So they get discouraged. I've had videos that 240 days after they've been released start taking off. To almost a year. So like
like viral taking off.
Yeah, and you literally could be a year away from that video that you just made before you quit, or right before you quit, taking off because you just stopped uploading.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think a mistake people get is they get bored. They're like, man, this is boring. Yeah. Well, it might be very boring because it's time for you to start working with other people. I know it is a lonely journey if you are just like grinding and doing it all by yourself. But even if you found like a collective, or you started masterminding with a few friends, or maybe you started one, you're like, hey, every Monday we're gonna meet on Zoom, and just like you kind of did this, right? With so if it was just you and you were just cranking it out, I would imagine you'd get really discouraged. But now you have guys being like, dude, try this thing, like let's do that. So I think find a community, and I do love that about VRA, is that there's a community of people constantly. It's every day. It's 24/7 of people checking in on each other, testing video ideas and things like that. Don't allow yourself to live in discouragement. It's okay to get discouraged, but don't live in that, because then it's going to cause you to quit. And by you quitting, there's that ripple effect of what could have been, or what should have been, what probably should have been. I actually think that if you do not quit on YouTube, that is the #1 recipe for success, is the trying at YouTube. I feel like we're trying at YouTube. We still are trying. Yeah. Like we're always testing new formats, testing new things. And that's actually the goal. So, we started this conversation talking about fitness, and that sometimes we have these end goals. Well, the goal is to build the lifestyle. So if I get discouraged in the journey and it causes me to quit, I actually lose, because the goal was to just stay on the journey. Yep. So don't allow discouragement to cause you to quit.
I love that. Our video editor for Think Media, Nate, he's over here.
Hey, Nate Dog.
He has a similar story with his channel. And so Nate's film,
Nate Dog, Nathan's Dogs. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
His channel is called Nate's Film Tutorials. And your video that took off, initially the director's one, it didn't take off right away. And I think he was even, probably a little bit discouraged, because he posted this video and I was like, dude, this video is fire. Like, this is going to get a ton of views and all this stuff. And it like just tanked. And it was also at a point for him where he was a slight pivot from like videography to filmmaking. And I was like, but bro, like just commit to the filmmaking, like commit to the pivot. And is this right here? So, okay, so check this out, dude.
Dang, 100.
100 days in, it ends up getting 6,000 views. And how many subscribers? You had like 20,000 subscribers at the point. So that's not a lot of views for him. But after 100 days, it jumps up and it just keeps skyrocketing. And now it's at 283,000 views.
Wow.
So just similar to you, right? It just like found the audience. And here, you can take this back, Nate.
And this is actually a thing that is happening on YouTube. Yeah. Okay. It's when you're just posting consistently and one video goes nuts. What do people do after that one video goes nuts? And what does YouTube do? #1, people start checking out the other videos. YouTube starts serving your next uploads, your older uploads. And then it starts to like fill in your channel, if you hypothetically, or like an illustration is like an empty cup. Let's say you're empty and you have this one go viral, and now they're spilling over into other stuff. So now even for me, older podcasts I uploaded 2 months ago, they're starting to take off. But it's because people are starting to binge the channel. And it's because Nate didn't quit that people can now go back, they can go forward. And so this is why you don't want to quit.
Exactly. There's a lot of people who would post a video and then they would be discouraged after 159 days.
Yeah.
They would give up, and then like their channel takes off, and they're like, there's all these new viewers coming in, and they go to your channel like, you're inconsistent. You don't post anymore.
Right.
You haven't posted in 6 months. And so what you have to do is stay consistent even when it's hard. And then YouTube rewards, like the snowball effect happens through consistency of recommending another one of your videos and another one. That's how YouTube works.
And it's like, honestly, if you're in finances, there's this term called compound interest. I would say this is a little bit more powerful because the amount of compound interest that takes place with attention, then it really puts the ball in your court to be able to do what you want to do, sell what you want to sell, live how you want to live, So yeah, don't make the mistake of quitting.
If you're a very small YouTuber and you can upload a video a day and like all the videos be average, and like none of those videos will really stand out. None of it's like epic enough where like the algorithm's gonna go, oh, this video is good. Like we need to spread it. I feel like a lot of small YouTubers, they just post like videos that aren't bad, but they're not great. And they just do that. And none of them ever pop off. So they never get an audience, where it might be better to like, you know, upload half or a third or even like a fifth of the videos, but make the videos you upload so freaking good that like the algorithm has to promote it, and that, you know, it has to find audiences for it, because it's such an interesting and good video. When you like set a consistent schedule and you're constantly having to upload videos that aren't as good as you'd like because you got to hit, oh, this Monday I said I'd upload every Monday, you know, like that's a dangerous trap, because then, you know, the viewers notice that the quality isn't as good and it makes them less likely to watch. And